Finding meaning in life amid uncertainty. In today's world, we often face a constantly changing environment that sometimes feels unstable and chaotic. We continuously search for answers to questions like, what should I do with my life? And how do I live amidst uncertainty? Today, we will explore how Stoic philosophy can help us find meaning in life, despite external and internal turmoil. Uncertainty is an inevitable part of our existence. We can never know for sure what will happen tomorrow, what events will impact us, or how the world around us will change. Stoics believed that the world is a continuous flow where chaos and order alternate, and it is important to learn to see this process not as a threat, but as part of the natural order. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, wrote in his Meditations, "You cannot control the world, but you can control your reaction to it." This principle lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Stoics taught that the external world will always be unpredictable, but we can control only our reaction to it. Our feelings, emotions, and choices are in our hands. For Stoics, the meaning of life lies in following inner virtue, striving to live in harmony with nature and reason. Epictetus, for example, taught, "Do not suffer over what is not in your control." Amid uncertainty, the most important task is to find inner peace and learn to be content with what we have, regardless of the external chaos. In this first part, we have discussed how uncertainty is a part of life we must learn to live with, and how Stoic philosophy can serve as a reliable guide in the search for stability. The secrets of Stoicism for finding meaning. The main idea of Stoicism is freedom from external circumstances. Stoics believe that human happiness and meaning do not depend on the outside world, but on how we perceive it. As Seneca wrote in his On Happiness, "No one can take away what is within you." This means that even in conditions of uncertainty and crisis, we can find meaning if we learn to focus on what we can control. Stoics teach us not to judge events as good or bad. It is important to understand that all events in our lives are simply circumstances, and our task is to react to them correctly. When we learn to see every event as an opportunity for growth, we can find meaning even in the most difficult situations. Epictetus, for instance, said, "What harms us is not external events, but our reactions to them." In this sense, it's important to realize that every crisis is not the end, but merely a new phase in our lives. Stoics recommend not clinging to things that are beyond our control. This is a key idea of Stoicism. Epictetus taught, "You cannot control everything that happens in the world, but you can control your perception of it." We often try to control every aspect of our lives, but it is crucial to understand that in times of uncertainty, letting go of the need to control everything outside our influence can be liberating. Stoics taught that the only thing we can control is our own actions, thoughts, and decisions. No matter how the world changes, only we can choose how to respond to what happens. This knowledge brings immense inner peace. By striving for virtue and moral perfection, a person finds meaning. Even if everything around us seems uncertain, we can be sure that our inner goal remains clear. In this part, we talked about how Stoics advise us to free ourselves from external factors, focus on what we can control in our lives, and how our perception of the external world determines our inner state. Stoic practices and exercises for finding meaning in life. Stoics used a method known as meditation on death to help them appreciate every moment of life and not fear inevitable changes. Reflect on your mortality, on the fact that our lives are just a moment in time. Death is not something to fear, it is simply part of life, and it helps us realize the value of each day. Every day, Stoics dedicated time to self-reflection to analyze their actions. Seneca often advised considering what we did throughout the day, what we could improve, and how we should move forward. By applying this method, we learn to recognize what is important to us, what makes us happy, and what distracts us. In times of uncertainty, this helps us find inner confidence and clarity. Stoics teach us to divide events into those that are within our control and those that are not. We cannot control external circumstances, but we can control how we respond to them. This exercise allows us to focus on what we can change rather than wasting energy on what is beyond our control. Stoics often emphasize the importance of gratitude, even amid life's difficulties. Practicing gratitude helps us focus on the positive moments in our lives despite any challenges. Being thankful for what we have, the opportunities we encounter, and the people around us is something that can help us find meaning in life, even when everything seems uncertain. Now that we have explored several Stoic practices that can help us find meaning in life, let's move on to the final two important aspects of Stoic philosophy: inner meaning and resilience through Stoicism. Stoics believe that humans should live in accordance with nature. This means we should follow our natural inclinations and develop virtues such as wisdom, courage, and justice. When we live according to our nature, we are not dependent on the external world because inner peace is our natural goal. Life is full of surprises and challenges, but it is precisely in times of crisis that we can develop our inner strength. Stoics teach that despite difficulties, inner peace and resilience are possible. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not worry about what you cannot change, but worry about what you can do." We must remember that a strong person is not one who avoids difficulties, but one who finds meaning and strength in overcoming them. Stoics assert that it is in difficult situations where we truly find the meaning of life. Today, it is important to remember that our inner meaning is something we create ourselves, independent of external circumstances. Finding meaning in life through Stoicism. We have discussed how Stoic philosophy helps us search for meaning in life, despite uncertainty of the external world. Liberation from external factors, proper perception of situations, and inner control. These are all key aspects of Stoicism. Stoics teach us to be open to change, understanding that every situation is an opportunity for growth. Even in the most challenging circumstances, we can find meaning if we look at life through the lens of Stoic wisdom. If you want to find meaning in your life, turn to Stoicism. Apply its principles every day. And remember, the world will change, but your inner strength and wisdom will always remain with you. Final comment. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment sharing how you deal with uncertainty in your life and which philosophies have helped you find your sense of meaning.